Alright, I'm going to talk about Looper. First of all, it was directed by Rian Johnson, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Bruce Willis, Emily Blunt, and that guy from Dumb and Dumber. Okay, let's see. Let's start with the fact that this movie was outrageously weird. If you haven't seen it, it's about time travel, which is always outrageously weird. And if you like that sort of thing, it's great. I happen to like that sort of thing, so it happened to be great. The overall plot was as follows. Time travel exists in the future, but it's illegal, and the mob uses it to get rid of people. Get rid of. They send them back in time 30 years where people like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, loopers, wait for them and kill them. The body's easier to dispose of that way. So they send his future self back in time so that his present self can kill him, but Bruce Willis is on a mission to bring back his wife by killing this kid who supposedly grows up to be the man who's responsible for his wife's death. Or something. The point is, Bruce Willis does what he wants and all hell breaks loose. While we're on him, let's stay on him for a second. Bruce Willis is getting old, but he still has a lot of fight in him. I mean, sure, he's kind of old and gross, especially considering he's supposed to be the older version of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but he's still pretty badass. His acting was average. I mean, it was an action movie. I don't think his part relied too heavily on the acting. As far as his scenes, some of them were a little overdone. I mean, he takes out like 7 or 8 guys without breaking a sweat. But all in all, he was Bruce Willis, which I suppose is good enough for this movie. Alright, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'll start off by saying I'm a little biased considering he's my husband, but I'll try to stay objective. He was great. He always is. I'll have to admit I was a little distracted by his face. It was all weird. I remember seeing the commercials and going, what? But after seeing the movie I realized it was to make him look more like Bruce Willis because they're supposed to be the same person just in a different time, so it makes sense. The kid was played by a little boy named Pierce Gagnon. You may recognize him from The Crazies as Distraught Son. For a young kid though, I was really impressed with his performance. He terrified me. Really. That kid was crazy. And I enjoyed Emily Blunt as well. I always do. When her character is first introduced, she's threatening everyone with a gun and annoying the shit out of me, but eventually she becomes more likable as the movie progresses. So, as if time travel wasn't enough, they also decided to bring in telekinesis, but I won't talk about that in case some of you haven't seen the movie. All in all though, I did enjoy it. A little surprised that Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 93% because they're usually more cynical than that. It entertained me, but there were a few iffy things. If you're a science fiction fan, I definitely recommend watching it because as a sci-fi fan, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, I think. Alright, thank you for watching. Subscribe to Dinky Co for more movie reviews and other things. We are the media.